Hello everybody, welcome back. So we're about to hop into another episode of Dark. I'm about to hop into season 1, episode 2, Lies. So when I did the first episode of this revisit to the series, I didn't expect it to be as popular as it is, which is why I was kind of shocked to see, all the likes and support. So as long as you guys want it, I'm going to keep doing it. And I really appreciate all the comments, all the in-depth comments, because that comment section, so much content, so many things that, hell, even I overlooked and still overlook, even watching it again. But I'm definitely keeping all the comments, I'm taking it all to heart. I do read all of them. I think that's really neat how I'm seeing all these familiar faces coming back to kind of help guide me through the story again, giving me things to look out for. All that's really good. So now I'm ready to hop back into the second episode. Once again, if you're new to the channel, this is my revisit of the series. I've already seen this. Check out my reactions for my first initial run of the series. And if you guys are interested, season 1 of Dark, my first initial reactions are available on my Patreon. For starting for $3, you can see season 1 just to try it out. It's gonna be my trial tier on my Patreon. Season 1 will be there for my first initial reactions as well as my revisit to the story. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. The link is there in the description and in probably in the comments, pinned in a comment down below. That being said, I think I'm ready to just hop into this and see what's up with what's going on. Let's see if I can pick up on some things that kind of lead into the future, future storylines, all that good stuff. So that being said, I think I'm just gonna end it there, and we're just gonna hop into it and talk about it immediately afterwards. But once again, thank you guys for coming back and reliving the show with me. Really means a lot. Can't wait to keep doing the next episode. Just as long as you guys keep wanting it, I'll keep doing it. Alright, so here we go. We're about to hop into season 1, episode 2 of Dark, called Lies. Alright guys, here we go. Alright, this is Jonas. Future Jonas is coming back with the time machine and the thing. He sees the search party looking for Mikkel. Waking up again. I think that's a recurring theme because in the first episode we see him waking up. Almost the exact same shot. Almost like things are repeating. I see the scar. Question. Did they actually have a cave to film in, or is this all a set? Because this is really neat. And I don't think I ever really commented on the set design in this show, because the cave is actually a character in of itself. So I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. So he thinks Mikkel may have found his way into that, but in actuality, that's where they buried and sealed up all the old nuclear waste type stuff, right? It's basically little stuff to kind of throw the characters off, not necessarily us, because we know Mikkel's gone. He's not hidden behind a door. The bloody sweater. Okay, I'm trying to remember. What was he doing when he had that sweater? He knew about the time travel stuff. He notices the body, they call him to the body or something like that, right? And then he helps dispose of it. Because I think Claudia and Peter are there, and they're like, we have to move his body to the correct time, or something like that. And she thinks he's cheating, but he's not. Fall through the time stream, awaken from a dream. I mean, from Ulrich's point of view, it makes sense to check the power plant. But from our point of view, it's kind of all this misdirection. When in actuality, it is the power plant. Them. The nuclear waste, right? I forget what their relationship is. He's just paying him to do this. Because he doesn't work for the power plant, right? Maybe he does. I don't know. I don't remember. I remember when I first saw this, I'm like, well, didn't see that coming.
Brauche ein Zimmer.
Huh. It's neat. Dark matter, I assume he was looking at?
Wir werden ihn finden.
Vielleicht. Vielleicht auch nicht.
Because he already knows the truth. They're not gonna find him. What did he slip in his pocket? Wait. Was that another person coming through the caves? Because he's already here. For a second there, it looked like he had that tattoo on his back. See the rope burn around his neck. He has Townhouse's book too. My God. So much setup and world building. Love it. What's the significance of the action figures? Because clearly they're showing this for a reason. I'm drawing a blank on the significance of it in the grand scheme of things.
Alexander hat den Erlass für den Durchsuchungsbefehl sofort blockiert. Aber wir sprechen gerade mit dem Richter. Ruf ihn sofort an, wenn du das hörst.
So, Ariadne's play in the background. Everyone's just different after the night Mikkel left or disappeared. So is that the main driving force between, or the main wedge driven between Bartosz and Martha's relationship? Because they seem pretty solid in the first episode. Then stuff happens, and now Bartosz has the drugs, but, you know, they had that shot looking at the drugs. It's almost like he's like almost remorseful, like it's not even worth it to have it at the expense of his relationship. You know, someone's now gone because of it. Is that why Martha's upset? Because she feels like it's Bartosz's fault that they indirectly led them to the caves that night. Like it just happens to be circumstance or something like that. It's just circumstantial that he was just there to be that force, that the reason that they're there. Is that why she's upset? I don't know if I worded that right, but I'm sure you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Now I remember at one point in the future, Katharina has that map. And I think at the time I was like, is she the one that made it? But I don't think so. Maybe she made all the notes and stuff, and well, she made some notes. That's still Helg back there. It's still supposed to be a mystery.
Welchen Preis würden wir bezahlen?
And that's Charlotte's grandfather, who's basically at the center of it all, trying to correct his own mistake. And thus the series was born. Right? I could be wrong. And he's still weighing the options of whether it was worth it or not, I'm sure. Yeah, he has a phone, and that leads him to Noah. It's fully charged. That's convenient. I never noticed that, actually. Remember in the other world where it was Ulrich and Charlotte? I was like... And I know at some point, older Jonas sneaks into his room and makes notes of his own to kind of help lead him to where he needs to go, right? Where's the crossing? Are you talking about the time bridge at the very, very end of the series? That's the crossing, right? And they can choose which area, which time to go to. This is familiar too. There's another person that lives here that Martha breaks up with him or something. I can't remember. It's another son of Jurgen. Can't remember. This place looks familiar though. Like you see it again later in the show. What was he looking on the tires for? Like the red dirt? I mean, it's raining. It'd be washed off, right? Dun dun dun. Human head. But no. Click.
Lass das fallen.
I mean, you would feel that and be like, that's not a head. That's not body parts.
Was ist das?
Erik und ich. Hier und da.
Was there another child? Who else used to live here? Okay, they're moving it now. Okay.
Glaubst du, er hat ein Geheimnis? Glaubst du, da war was er niemand von uns erzählen wollte?
More than you know. There's a letter that's gonna fuck all your lives up. God, that's so weird that she's literally sleeping with the adult version of Mikkel. That's so weird. Or she was. Ulrich's son. Jesus. Like, thinking about that, that's crazy. Lights came back on. So someone was using the time machine, right? Because of the power disruption or whatever. I'm trying to, like, line things up in my head right now. Like, what's exactly happening elsewhere. And he feels guilty as fuck because he knows the truth and wife thinks he's cheating. Catting around. She's gonna wake up. Yep. So she's suspicious of him, and he's helping Claudia and Peter, right? Ray Houdini, he disappeared, all right. I just noticed Mikkel has a stuffed animal that kind of has a skeleton shape that he wears a similar hoodie of. And then he changed it to Wen. I think at this point, I didn't even suspect time travel, so I was like, what's going on? I was very interested. I was intrigued all the way through, but I don't think at this point I suspected time travel or all these different versions of different characters appearing at different points of in their travels. So to Mikkel, all he knows is Jonas led him to the cave. Wait here, he says, and everything will be fine, and then go home. That's what he did, right? But he took him back in time in the cave, and then here we are. Older style cars. He's like, whose car is this?
Wer bist du?
Wieso? Wer bist du?
Mikkel. Ich wohne hier.
Spinner, bist am falschen Haus.
Hey Ulrich! Komm!
Ja, Katharina, ich komme ja schon.
Now, every time I see young versions of them, I'm going to keep thinking of what Ulrich said. Whose idea was it to have kids anyway? Pause is there. Alright guys, that was Season 1, Episode 2 of Dark Lies. Like I said, a lot of setup, a lot of intrigue. Very interesting watching this again. You know, putting together all the future pieces together, especially with all the future knowledge and where certain storylines and characters go. So all this is a lot of fun. Yeah, there's not much else to really say here, except, you know, we're just kind of going along with this journey, seeing how the story develops, picking up all the little Easter eggs along the way. Next up, I believe, is a big one. Can't remember though. I think, well, every episode's kind of big in its own way because every episode has something to add to the big puzzle that is Dark. That being said, I'm just going to leave it at that. Leave all your comments and all your details, everything you know about this episode in the comments down below. I'm going to read them all. I'm going to start throwing some of the best comments up on the videos every now and then, you know, just to kind of highlight some of the stuff I may have missed or some of the stuff I should be looking out for, some of the recurring themes and visual aids and stuff like that, because I've picked up on some recurring visual motifs in the show, and I'm sure for everything I spot, I'm missing probably dozens more, which is why I'm glad I'm conversing with you guys here to help guide me through this story the second time around. But yeah, it's really intriguing how well paced the show is, because each kind of episode is like another I don't know, it sounds cheesy to say a chapter in the story, but it's kind of like another stanza in the song, or another a stanza in the poem. It's just, it kind of keeps elevating a snowball effect, if you want to say that. But yeah, everything's really intriguing. They set up so much to this world that with all the stuff I know from the future, everything's coming together. And I can't wait to see what else I can find in future episodes. But I guess one of the biggest thing going on is the Martha and Bartosz stuff. Now, is it as simple as they lost Mikkel, they went to the caves that night, bad things happened, and everyone's just acting weird, right? Because Magnus is doing his punching thing, you know, Francesca's doing whatever. Bartosz wants to connect with Martha, but Martha is being distant from Bartosz. Bartosz literally weighing his choice there, his decision to go to the caves with that bag of drugs, and he found a phone, which I was surprised that it was charged all the way, but you know, little things like that. Yeah, is it as simple as you are the reason, you are the indirect cause for why Mikkel is gone? If we didn't go to the caves that night, he would be okay. Like, are we using that as like the foundation for their eventual split? Or is it because of Martha's, you know, she feels something for Jonas, like that overwhelming feel of destiny and, you know, whatever. Is that just overpowering her? Is it just kind of pulling her more towards Jonas, or tearing her away from Bartosz, however you want to look at it? I don't know. So that's one of the things I'm just kind of figuring it out. But as far as Ulrich's parents, Jana, I think, is one of their names. Jana's mom's name. I think that's mom's name, right? She suspects dad, husband, is cheating, but he's helping setting the stage for everything. And she mentioned seeing a dark figure with a large head. Is she referring to older Jonas who came back in time, or is she referring to Helg in the similar dark hooded raincoat? That's the other thing. But outside of that, really good stuff. Can't wait to hop into the next episode. Remember, guys, if you want to see the next episode, be sure to show all the support in the world in the comments down below. Liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. And I'm hoping to get season 1 episode 3 out, you know, sooner than later. All right, guys, thanks for checking this video out. I'm gonna get out here. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, see ya.